our group demonstrated a highly effective and structured collaborative process across all 3 experiments. With 5 members working across both on-ground and technical roles, we were able to distribute responsibilities efficiently, which contributed to a smooth production workflow. A key strength of our collaboration was communication. From the beginning, we maintained a consistent discussion through both in-class production and online channels, which allowed us to plan ahead and avoid last-minute decision-making. This particularly was important within the live studio environment, where timing, coordination, and clarity of roles were essential. In terms of my personal contribution, I was primarily responsible for camera operation, working within the control room, and taking on directing responsibilities. This meant I was actively involved in both technical execution and the overall coordination of the segment. For example, working in the control room required me to monitor camera feeds, make decisions about filming and timing, and ensure the visual flow of the segment aligned within the intended structure. While our collaboration was strong, one area of improvement would be increasing our willingness to take creative risk. Our process was highly organised, which ensured technical success, but at times limited experimentation, with more dynamic and visually complex ideas. Moving forward, balancing structure with creativity will strengthen our final outcome. Overall, I feel very positive about our group's process, as it created a reliable and supportive environment that allowed us to progressively improve across each experiment. The first experiment was a studio-based interview, with a guest discussing their experience working on Broom Pride. One of the key strengths for this experiment was the natural tone of the conversation. As noted in our reflection, the discussion moved beyond structured questions and became more of an open-ended conversation, with presenters building on each other's responses. It created a more authentic and engaging viewing experience. However, there were also clear technical limitations. For example, audio inconsistencies became apparent, particularly with microphone positioning, which affected clarity at times. Additionally, when I was working in the control room, I realised that focusing more on monitoring audio levels than rather actively engaging in the content itself. This highlighted the challenge of balancing technical responsibilities with the overall production awareness in live environments. This experiment demonstrated the importance of both technical preparation and active listening within a live production. In our second experiment, we developed a more relaxed conversational interview, focusing on 2 artists' practices and their journaling processes. Key strength of this experiment was the tone and accessibility of the conversation. The presenters appeared comfortable on camera, and the discussion felt natural and engaging. This improved the overall flow compared to the first experiment, making the segment feel more authentic and less structured. However, there was a noticeable gap between our initial planning and final execution. We intended to incorporate additional visual elements, such as displaying the artist's work on screen, but this was not successfully implemented due to time constraints and coordination issues. As a result, the segment relied heavily on the dialogue rather than visual storytelling. This highlighted the importance of aligning production planning with execution, particularly when working in live or time-sensitive formats. By the third experiment, our group shifted towards more of an interactive and participation format, inspired by a game show structure involving balloon prompts. This experiment demonstrated the clear progression in both confidence and engagement. The interactive nature of the format engaged spontaneous responses, making the segment feel more dynamic and less predictable. Participants were required to react in real time, which created more natural and engaging moments. However, there were technical challenges still present. For example, camera framing was sometimes too tight, which limited the visibility and movement and reduced the sense of space within the studio. In hindsight, wider shots would have been better supported the format by capturing both action and reaction. This experiment highlighted how both technical execution and format design must work together to create an engaging live production. Moving forward, the key opportunity for our group lies in combining our strong technical structure with more ambitious and creative ideas. Our experience has shown a clear improvement in both collaboration and production skills, particularly in terms of communication, camera operation, and overall coordination. However, the next step is to push our concepts further, to create a segment that is not only technically effective, but is also highly engaging and distinctive. In the final weeks, I aim to build my experience in directing and technical operation. by contributing to be more refined and visually dynamic outcome. I also want to be more proactive in contributing creative ideas, particularly developing formats that encourage audiences interactively. Overall, this process has strengthened my understanding of live media production as both a technical and collaborative practice, highlighting the importance of adaptability, planning, and critical reflection in achieving successful outcomes.